A tree does not have no root, it cannot survive. So we as a people, we don't really have, we have lost our root until we learn to reestablish the root. We will not exactly to where we need to be. So for me now, I start to look for myself, because I decide that the history that I was told, because what I was told is that when the white man came to Africa, he took us out of the jungle, took us there and civilized us. But how do you civilize me by beating me, raping my mother, and even raping the men, and killing children, and doing all these bad things to people? How is that civil? That is not civil by any means. But I know that I started looking at this thing and I said, but African people did not live in any jungle. That is a false story. The greatest civilization, when you start to study your history and say the greatest civilization on earth, the greatest civilization ever existed. You look at the pyramids in Egypt, right? And you say, everybody today is still saying, how did they build those buildings? Right? So how is it that these people that's supposed to be so great, they build, they make cranes, they make all kind of things, but they tell you that a crane, no crane in the world can take up one of those stones off the pyramid. None. There's no crane strong enough to pick up one of those stones, because most of those stones weigh over 200 tons. You see what I'm saying? Over 200 tons. Wow. So what hands? So it's not by hands they build it.
It's true.
Okay, it is by knowledge. It's by vibration.
Yes.
The natural vibration, because our ancestors, they knew how to use the natural element.
It's very true.
Because we are spiritual people, so we are connected with nature.
Nature, yes.
Once you disconnect from nature, then
you miss the root.
Exactly,
you
my
miss
brother.
The root. You miss
exactly.
the root. Straight up, you miss the root.
You see, so that's where we have to get back to. But we are looking, I tell people, what I see, the history of the white man, wherever he goes, is death, destruction, and domination. What does he try to do to the earth? He tried to plunge into her and rape her of all her resources and take everything away from her. And we, as natural people, try to aspire to that kind of behavior. You see what I'm saying? We aspire to that kind of behavior, and that behavior will destroy us.
It will destroy us.
You see, because there is no love in that behavior. There is nothing that make any sense, because the fact is that the hurt, without the hurt producing, how can we survive? How can we live? Why are you taking out the natural resource? You don't need that in order for survival.
Yes.
We need the food that she produced. We need the water. We need all of the natural elements that she produced. We don't need gold. We don't need silver. We don't need those things to be pulled out of the earth in order for us to.
Minerals that wouldn't be needed.
Exactly.
For day-to-day activities and for survival.
Exactly.
It's very true.
Exactly.
It's very true.
So once we get back, I tell our people, I said, you know what? People tell me, because I speak of my ancestors, people say, oh, you worshiping your ancestors. I said, listen, I'd rather to worship my ancestors, because at least I know they exist.
You know they exist.
You see what I'm saying?
Very true.
And when my ancestors, how do I come into certain knowledge? My ancestors start coming to me and saying to me, start to think for yourself.
So,
don't allow anybody to think for you. And that's, it's like somebody tapping you. So listen, we know the way. Don't let anything fool you. Everything that is inside, we give you everything inside of you to lead you out of this. Okay? Yeah. This is you're in a world that was created to destroy you. So in order for you to come out, you have to listen. You have to think, and you have to reason, and you have to look at things and see that most things have a double meaning.
Yes. The mindset.
Exactly. So you have to, what they try to put in us, I said, you know why when I come here first, my brother, and I got the naming ceremony, when I get my name, it was a very powerful thing for me. You see what I'm saying? It was, because
You've gotten the root
Yeah.
and the exact name that you do deserve to have.
Exactly.
That makes you who you are, and that is what is getting you to where you need to get to.
Yes.
And just as I said the other time, you know, name has deeper meanings.
Yes, my brother.
And until you get the exact meaning of the name that you bear,
Right.
you won't be able to get to the page.
You can't.
That is it. It's
You
very
see,
true.
it's like a person, you find yourself having a state of
Yes.
amnesia.
Yes. Yeah.
Amnesia meaning that you know something, maybe you fall down, hit your head, and you get up and you don't really have that consciousness. So you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're coming from. But even when someone is trying to tell you, say, listen, this is it. But finally one day when somebody comes to you and say, hey, your name is Kweku. Say, yeah, it registers. It makes sense
It makes
to you.
sense.
You know, you
Makes
feel
sense.
it. You feel
You know,
that within yourself.
There is this book one guy wrote. He's a Ghanaian, he's a Jewish.
Right.
Yeah, he's based in US.
Yeah.
He started this research in Kenya and then Israel.
Yeah.
He was like, he's gotten the main basics and the reasons why Africans or blacks are blessed.
Yeah.
But he doesn't still understand why we need to come all the way out there to emulate or to imitate the things and the doings of the whites, trying to adapt their style of living, making that ours, whereas it's not so. You see, whereas it's not so. Whereas it's not so. And I was like, wow, this guy is trying to bring the true black in us out.
Exactly.
He's trying to bring the true black in us out. Like, wow. So he gave the history and then the trend, how come our Asian fathers migrated all the way from Israel, Egypt, and then came down all the way to the western side to settle.
Yes.
Wow. Indeed, this is true history.
Yes.
This is true history. But we the blacks currently, we don't do more of research. We don't read more to get back to our main roots to know where our root is.
Exactly, my brother. That's the point. You gotta go back to the source. You see, if you want to know, if I want to know where the river is, the spring is coming from, I gotta track it. I gotta walk and I gotta track it. And when I get there and I see this big stone and the water coming up from underneath the stone, I say, yes, this is the source. This is the source. This is why it's good. Because I know now for sure it's coming out of the earth. You see, and the earth doesn't do anything but give us good things. You see, so that's why I tell people, do not allow anything to think or anyone to think for you. Because when people start to think for you, that means they will have control. You see,
that they tell you and they decide for you the things you need to do.
Exactly.
Whereas it's not supposed to be so.
Exactly.
As a rational, complete human being, decision-making steps, doings, thoughts, suggestions are supposed to be done by yourself.
Exactly.
That pushes you, and when you have that self-control, when you have that self-instinct and that push, you know what you are doing. So when you hit on your target, you know the exact target to mark out.
Exactly. So when I tell people, I set my own pace for life. I am the decider. No one else decides for me where I go, and when I go, I decide that. If I buy something, it's not because someone else tell me to buy it. I don't go out and buy things that most people buy, because for me personally, that is what somebody is telling you. Somebody saying, oh, this shirt here, you see, I will wear the shirt that you won't see most people with the shirt, because most people ask me, where did you get that shirt? Because it doesn't have a name brand on there. You see, because when I say to my people, I say, why do you love to wear name brand? And I said, I just love to wear name brand. I think it's nice. I said, you know why? I said, I'm going to tell you. Because your ancestors were branded with a branding iron. So everywhere they go, somebody know who they belong to. Exactly.
The marks and all that. That makes it.
Yes, you are Mr. Harriet Slave. You are Mr. John Slave. So they know, just like an animal. We're not animals. Why do you want to walk around with somebody's brand on you? So that's why I said, well, I love my African clothes.
It doesn't make you original.
You see, I love my African clothes. But I said, what I find the problem is with my brothers, I see my African brothers, leave Africa, they go to Europe, they go to university, and they went there in a dashiki, and they came back in a jacket and tie, in a suit and tie. And I said, because what is the message? You're all suited up and tied up for white supremacy. So the white man control you, he pull your strings, he tell you what to do, and even to do to your own people, to destroy your own people. And you feel good about that?
It's like a noose.
You see, you see, so that tells you it's a message. So for me, many people will call me the rebellious one.
Oh, okay.
You see, because the fact is, my brother, I don't go.
You don't go.
I don't follow anyone. I don't follow their path. I don't follow their guidelines, because I said I am a salmon. I swim up against the current.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they don't decide what is right for me and what is wrong for me. I decide that for myself.
You decide that for yourself. That makes you who you are.
Exactly.
It makes you who you are.
And that's the spirit. The spirit, when we allow our spirit to lead us, our ancestral spirit to lead us, we must come out on the bright side of life. Because they are not going to mislead us. Your ancestors will never mislead you. You see, but anything, as I said to people, you always hear this mixed message. Why you hear a mixed message is because your brain has been confused by a people who want it to be that way. So I don't give in to that, you know. At some time in my life I tried to, but it never worked.
It never worked. Okay.
Because I'm a free spirit. You see, and if only we could get our people to free their minds, then the world would be a beautiful place for them. But they have a demon living inside of them, and the demon is called white supremacy. So they do the bidding of the white people. If you notice, if you see when white people come around, black people get very quiet. No matter how loud they may sound before, soon as some white people start to come in, the black people get very quiet.
It's not supposed to be so.
Exactly. Even if they were rioting, they will stop the riot, because the gods are there in their midst now. And the problem is that every time we see a white person, we see God, Jesus, and the angel. That is embedded in our mind. And we are not going to go up against the gods. Even though you will hear black people, I'm not afraid of the white man, I'm not afraid, I will, no.
When they come around,
never do him anything. He will never do anything to him. And I said, I will tell you, just look. Just look. I said, who do you destroy? You have never destroyed a white man. You will not do that. He will come and he will meet. There's places, my brother, where you live and I live, that in certain areas here in Africa, I'm sure you probably wouldn't go there. In certain areas in Jamaica and in America, I wouldn't go there, because you are afraid for your life. Because your own people will destroy you. But I said, in those same area, you will have a white man or a white woman. They will come and they will walk right through like it's nothing, and nobody will hurt them. What does that say to you? Huh? That's the power. You are afraid of that power that they're going to rain down on you.
And they value their flesh more than we value ours.
But that's what I'm saying.
And they know that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the self-hate.
Yes.
That's the self-hate, because everything you do, you aspire to be them. That's the reality. Everything you do, you aspire to be a white man or a white woman. That's what we do. And until we release that, we have to. And sometimes when they see you now, who are thinking for yourself, everybody will say, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to behave yourself. You're crazy. Because they live in a box, four-corner square, and what they're trying to do is to pull you back into that box.
That's right.
Limited.
Yeah, they limit themselves to everything, even though they might have grand idea. They might be very skilled at whatever they do in life, and they could make millions of dollars if they choose to. But because they are living in fear, they will not step outside of that box. They say, oh, I don't know. If I try this, it might not work out. You see, you are living in fear. And the people who you may be friends with, and they see you step out of the box and grab you. Come back, please, come back. Don't do anything to make the master get mad at us.
That's the way it was in the plantation.
You see?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That is the mentality that was developing. You see? And so it pains my heart to see that every day. We raise our children in fear. We raise our people in fear. The only thing we don't fear is to kill each other, to destroy each other. That's the self-hate. And self-hate is a very bad thing, man. It's a dangerous weapon. One of the most dangerous weapons is self-hate. Because self-hate will destroy you. You see, when you see a black soldier shoot down black people, black police shoot down black people, it's because he hates himself so much. He don't love himself. He don't love it because how could I shoot my brother if I love my brother? How could I shoot my mother or my son or my daughter or my niece or my nephew if I love them? That tells me that I have no love for them. I don't love me first because I have to love me in order for me to love them. And if once I love them, I will not hurt them.
Yes.
That's what love is. That's true love, my brother. You will not hurt the thing who look like you. You will always look out for them. You will always defend them. You will put your life on the line anytime for them. So when you're criticizing your brother or your sister, no, you're not criticizing your brother or your sister. You're criticizing yourself. That's the reality. But most of us don't even want to admit that.
Yes.
Yes. You see, so we're living in denial.
Denial.
That's the true reality. You know? So, you know, I when I'm here in Ghana, I see how the people live. The average people here in Ghana, they live a very simple life. And they are loving people within themselves. You can see it. But they just want some people who would say they are their leaders to stand up for them. And if their leader would just stand up, then the people would get the courage to stand up themselves.
That's very true. Very true.
You see?
That's very true.
That's the true reality, my brother. Just to get everybody to come, you know. But you have the leaders, they don't care about the people. They're always looking to enrich themselves.
Yes. You know, our leaders currently, I can say most of them are super selfish.
Yes.
They fight for their own interests before they think of others.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, it's not supposed to be so. Look at things that you can do to better the life of those down there. So then they push us up and then come back.
Right.
But we don't get it like that here.
Absolutely.
We don't get it like that. It's like myself, my family, just a little, the nuclear family, all that I have.
Yes.
Let me try and reach that, and that is all.
Yes.
We don't look at the external people out there. Whereas it's supposed to be looking at the external, and then when you are able to cater for the external, it comes back to you.
But you see, that's it, my brother.
That is what we're not doing.
I call it the boomerang effect. Whatever you put out is what will come back to you. So what I say, and you know the funny thing is, it's not just here, but it's everywhere you go where black people live, where us as African people live. It's the same thing. Because what it is, the European get you in a selfish thinking to think about me first. Now you're supposed to be your nation and your people and your community. They're supposed to be first. When you put them first, guess what? Everything must
goes up. And after everything, you get that appraisal. Aside that appraisal, you get recommendations. Aside recommendations, there are other necessary things that you are supposed to get that you're entitled to you.
And it will come in a greater
in
abundance.
Yes.
You see, but we're short-sighted. You see?
That is a serious issue in our
It is, my brother. It is, and it's everywhere. Because be honest with you, I've gone to quite a few places, and I see the same problem everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I see the same problem. But what I'm saying is because we have been taken and turned inside out, upside down.
Yes. We've been turned.
Yeah, and so that's where we just scraping for ourselves, and we will just you know, because the self-hate is so deep, you know, so it's going to take a lot. And as I said, I find out, but the good thing is, not all is not lost.
Not all is lost.
Because I find now, the ancestors are really waking our people up.
Seriously.
For the first time in my life, I have seen black people, African people in America, in Jamaica, and here in Africa, they are united. In the sense, what I'm saying, their spirit. I've never heard so much everywhere I go now, and I mean, when you hear your brothers and sisters say, you know what, I just have this spirit that I need to go to Africa. I need to. It's just like something driving me.
It's very
It's
intense.
a push.
Yes.
It's a push.
And so that for me has given me a wonderful perspective for the future. So, you know, to sometimes sit down and talk to your brothers and sisters and hear them express how much they want to go to Africa and how they talking about how they want black people to unite. And people are giving up a lot right now to say, I will do everything to see my people unite. So that is what I'm seeing. That is a great deal of us is recognizing what is going on. And that's why I said to them, the spirit of the ancestors are arising. And that's why you feel this urge that you need to go to Africa. Because like I said, when I put my feet on the soil for the first time, I knew I was home. You see, I was born in Jamaica, but I tell them, I said, I'm a African that was born in Jamaica. So you must claim your right of passage.
That is it. That is it.
You see, I tell black,
Get to the soul.
that's it. That's it. And I said to black American people, stop saying you're African American. No, you are an African that was born in America. You gotta claim right to passage. Go back to your roots. Don't be afraid to do that. I said the Chinaman is not afraid to claim his right to passage.
He's never afraid.
No matter where he's born, he will
He's
tell you.
never afraid.
You see?
Never afraid.
And that's what we have to get. But as I said, it came to the point where our ancestors have to be pushing us to say, listen, go to your roots, because that is the answer that you have been looking for. And that's what I see happening, my brother. If you be amazed, I mean, my brother-in-law, they can tell you how much people call us and saying about wanting to come to Africa. Brothers and sisters,
You would not believe it.
all over.
And it's a strong thing.
Strong desire.
And
pushes
when
deep.
when they see our videos and stuff, they even today, so much messages.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. But the white man's media is not going to tell us that. They're going to keep it quiet because they don't want it to get out. But it's a spiritual thing on a higher level. See? And that's what it is. Yeah. It's overwhelming. All over the world.
It's beautiful, my brother.
Yeah.
I got brothers. We got brothers called from the Netherlands. We got brother calling from England. We got brother
Norway.
called from Germany. We got brother called from all over France. Wherever brothers are calling and saying, man, you know, man, we have to get together. We have to work together. We have to change this. And I said, wow, you know, this is a beautiful thing to hear and see. You know, that brothers from Canada, all over, you know. And I mean, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is what we really need. But I see it happening.
It has started.
Yes, yes. And you know the funny thing is, for the first time, I hear the African nation are talking about African unity. And they're talking about, you know, where all Africans should have one passport.
One passport, one identity.
Yes.
One currency.
Yes.
It's running through. That is what they're trying to do
Yes.
now.
I hope-
And once it goes through, it brings that bond back.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. But once it goes through, but you see what I'm saying, my brother, the spirit of the ancestors that are rising. You see what I'm saying? Because the ancestors are waking our people up because they know, and it's for the greater good of Africa and African people, wherever we are. So that's why I says, you know, I am so happy to see that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an unstoppable force that is coming.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. And we want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? All of us that is true African at heart, we need to be a part of that. Because it's our very survival.
Seriously.
And our children's survival. Yes.
That's our legitimate right.
Yes.
And we need to possess it.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is ours.
Yes. Yes.
And it takes one man to make that push. That is where you started.
That's right.
That's where you started.
I'm not going to let them forget it. I'm not going to forget.
That is what he started.
That's right.
But the
That's
sense,
right.
Yes.
if
yes.
this is done, then that means, let's say, in your own little cubicle, you have your wife, you have yourself, you have him then.
Yes.
The next time coming, it will be the wife.
Yeah.
Perhaps after that, the kids.
That's it.
Yeah.
Then it becomes generational trend.
Yeah.
Before you notice, it transcends all over.
Exactly.
And we have it all around.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's good to be back home.
That's right.
I'm telling you, my brother. I'm telling you. It's such a grand honor.
good
You
to
know
be
what I'm
back
saying?
home, you know.
Yes. It's
This is the right truth.
I'm telling you.
And this is the right soil you need to
My
hit.
brother, when I
You
hit
need to
this,
hit.
when I hit this side,
to
you know,
hit.
I take my shoes off. You know,
Wow.
I pay libation to
That
my
is it. It's
ancestors, and
very,
I say,
very necessary.
I say, thank you.
Bringing me back home. You know.
Yes. You know, it's.
Are you ready? You ready? Okay, then we can do something now.
This is beautiful.
What's the one the number?
we did
Okay, I
some-
don't want paper. I don't know.
We did some phone. Me go kind. What's my friend number?
Yeah, come on, let me see if
I'm not be workful.
get along.
That's okay.
It's a beautiful day in Accra. And my brother is getting ready to get his name.
Check actually be a space in the bed.
We are getting ready to do a naming ceremony.
You can sit.
You sit right there, my brother.
First of all, you're welcome home. Yes, you're welcome home. Right. As I said earlier on, we want to. What's the size? Is it ready?
Everything is done. Oh, yes, it's there.
So, which day?
Eduarda.
Eduarda. Okay. So, let me be sure before I do what I need to do. So, Kwejo. Right. I'm going to explain a little bit so you get the whole concept.
Yes. Come to
I end them on the boom. So you get the whole concept, then we do the traditional name.
Make sure the sound is all right.
Yeah.
You know, as we were discussing, everybody has a root of origin or where he or she is coming from. Now here in Ghana, the traditional way of naming kids is what we are about to do. Yes. Now, you know, we have days from Sunday to Friday or to Saturday. Yes. And every day, and then the name that is ascribed or the name that is being given to he or she that is given to. Now, in naming the child, we use snap. This we use in pouring libation. This is our usual water as we know. Water is life. And whenever you pour libation, you are telling the ancestors or our forefathers. You are giving them or you paying that homage and that reverence to them. When a child is born, we pour libation in the first place to thank the gods for bringing or for giving us a gift, that is the child. After that, we give the child the name. If he or she it's a Monday, we give him the name ascribed to Monday born. If it's a Tuesday, we give the name ascribed to Tuesday, in that order. Now you are a which day born?
It's
It's Monday.
Monday.
yes, it was a Monday.
It's a Monday. Yes. So Monday, your name is going to be called Kojo. But before we do that, mainly what we do is this: that the snap that we use in pouring the libation. We actually the moon. Okay, this is a foreign snap. There's a foreign snap. The snap that is used in pouring the libation. You're going to open. You're going to invite the boss. And then after
Yeah,
that,
but we could have seen some around there.
we dip our hands into it and then place it on the pan for 3 times. The number 3 stands in for completeness, 1. 2, it stands in for wholeness. And then 3, it stands in for acceptance. And then appreciation. It also stands in for love. It stands in for restoration. It stands in for replacement. You get it? Yes. And then also, when we use the water, the taste of this and the water can never be the same. Once it can never be the same, it tells you that in life, whatever that we have the good aspect of it, we will get the bad aspect. But we would always pray to the gods that always they should give us the good aspect of it. You get it? That is why we use schnapp and then water. When we use water and then we use the schnapp, we try to let you know the difference between truth and what is untruth. Okay. Water and this would never taste the same. So when you taste this, you should be able to recognize that this is a hard liquor or this is a schnapp that you've taken. When you take water, you should be able to rectify that this is water. When that is done, then that means you've admitted that you can differentiate between good and bad. And when that also happens, we always say that let the good aspect of what we're doing be our portion now and forevermore till eternity do us fast. So with that,
One is
Clara, that part.
all this one. This is prepared.
So we are going to pour libation first, okay? And then after we do the kneeling. Okay. I'll go.
Amen.
Amen.
I'll go.
Amen.
I'll go.
Amen.
In Ghana we say cha obanya blau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey. Nananum. Okay, let me do it in English so then you all get to understand what
And then
I'm
you
doing.
do it in
Then
the
I'll
other-
do it the traditional way to answer. Our forefathers and our ancient fathers, long ago dead and departed, but always with us, we welcome you back home this evening. Yes, at this time we are about to name our brother again on this faithful day. All that we pray, or even as we are about to name him, we pray for your blessings, we pray for your presence, we pray that you come take charge and let the naming be successful. As we do this, as he stepped forth his foot on his motherland, as he's back home to his roots, may every blessings that you have for him be his portion. Every goodness that it bears the name that we are about to give him, let that be demonstrated, let it come out. That from hence, whatever he touches, whatever he does, because of the influence of the name, it will go to his benefit, and let all blessings be his portion now and forevermore. Cha obanya blau.
Yeah.
How?
Okay, so that is the libation I've called on our ancestors to come and shower out all their blessings unto you. That even as you bear the name, it will be well with you and everything, or your environs, everything that entails you and your life, everything you find yourself do with your hand. Once we say names have influence, names carry power. Name is an authority. Wherever you hear your name, you turn back and then you respond to it. Or wherever you hear your name, you are able to respond to it. That kind of response should bring you blessings from today till death do you part away from this earth. Yes, that is what we've done. So now I'll do the local one in our local dialect. Yo. Cha, Omanya Blau.
Yeah.
You.
Nananum, day. Ying ya bema kuju, wasamba me kan yinsa ofi. Ye wu say yes mo yinsa. Ye di kan afre. Umra mbedi e wan beni fat asase. Ade bia ye be ye mo mani ni. Se kujo free na ekoi. Bibia obeye. Enam din ya ye de ba betu nsu. Munjintum, munsum. Insire bia wodi nu mumfama no. Se munjin se nu ma na chese mo ne didin no akwapam. Se mu be hira ni nti mo de munjinum. Yes, I am from Mamma Clara, as me from Mamma waiting at the Mamma Monum. Namushra could do. We any answer, Mondier.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Welcome, Colano, and Uncle Move. Then we'll be doing it. Mumbra, Colano, I want the kids to come. As we give them name, we'll be tapping their hands to respond to it so then it makes sense. Come on, Mumbra. But they are quite if you are and then we need a different home. I'm not doing
Mumbra.
Mujina
When you are, I'm in German, dear. Hello, let's see. Oh, yeah, dear, and I'm more bombers and metro. Why? When you know.
Akwa odi o kese mo de kwai ka okay then Lisa na Lance Kwejo
Kevin
okay allow me to chop your names now.
Lola.
Oh, hey, Kofana. What are you fan?
You know, this is alcohol. This is water. I want to do the water first before I do the alcohol. The reason is I want you to taste life and how it is. And the normal circumstance, that is why. That is how we do it. And when you finish with it, I enjoy it. Then you get to know. Clara, come. My hands are already clean, but I just want to wash it a bit. No. Free and learn from today. If I drop this water and the test on your fan, your name is now Lance Kwejo Scoville. Right? Lance. I'm going to dip my hand into it onto your tongue 3 times as I explain the number 3 to you and the reason why. So you give me your fan. From today, your name is Lance Kwejo Scoville. Your name is Lance Kwejo Scoville. This is water. Now taste that of alcohol and know the difference. From today, your name is Lance Kwejo Scoville. Lance Kwejo Scoville. Lance Kwejo Scoville. Okay. Kwejo means Monday. And once you are Monday born, that is the name you've been recognized or the name that has been given to you. So from today, I name you as Lance Kwejo Scoville. Ewo Nyamieja Oba Edo. That is it. It's done.
So every day when you see this man, his name is
From today,
Kwejo.
wherever you meet Lance, his name is Kwejo Lance Scoville.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Do you know that one of our national heroes in Jamaica, his name was Kojo? That's the brother of Nani, the Maroons. Huh? Oh.
Thank you, brother.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.